Now we will see how we can create an application of our plant disease classification model. So here I will show you making an app using Streamlit. So Streamlit is an open source Python module, Python package, which can create standalone applications of machine learning and deep learning. So here you are seeing that I have created a .py file, that is a Python file. It is a Python script which will run our application. So let me take you through it and explain you how you can do it. So first you need to create a folder for this model. So here you can see that I have already stored the model here, which we have downloaded from the Google Colab here with the name plantdisease.h5, and this is the main app that I am creating. So let me show you how to create this app. Let me take you through this app. So first we need to import some required libraries. We are importing NumPy as NP. We are using Streamlit. We are using CV2, that is OpenCV, for image processing. And also, in order to load this model as we have stored here, we need to use the keras.models import load model. So in this, our first step should be loading the model. So in order to load the model, we need to provide the path for the model. So here you can see that I have provided the path for the model. After providing the path for the model, let us start with building the app. So firstly, let me create a list of all the names of the classes that we are working on. So we are working on corn common rust, potato early blight, and tomato bacterial spot. So I have created a class names list and passed all these classes here. The next step would be setting the title of the app. So as we are working on plant disease detection, so I have used st.title function and set the application title as plant disease detection. Similarly, I have taken st.markdown, which can be used as a subtitle, and I have set it as upload an image of the plant leaf. You can use certain different functions like st.heading, st.write. You can check those out also. So next, I will ask the user to upload an image and store it into a variable. So the plant image is a variable which will store the image uploaded by the user. We are uploading this file using a st.fileuploader. Also here you can see that I have specified the type of the image. So it should be a JPG. You can change it to PNG or any other image format. And I have created a button after this, which will store the prediction, which will store the user input into submit. So this button will be shown as predict, and as the user clicks on it, the click will be stored in submit. So if submit means if user clicks this, then it will check if the image is not none, and if the image is not none, then it will convert that image into an array. After converting that image into an array, we will convert that image into a OpenCV image because we need to perform some operations on it. So after converting that image into an OpenCV image, first we will display the image to the user. Also, we'll see the shape of the image that we have uploaded. After that, we will resize this image because our model takes an image of 256 by 256. So here you can see that I'm resizing the image. After that, we need to convert this image into a 4-dimensional image because our model takes a 4-dimensional image. So here you can see that I have used OpenCV image.shape function and converted into a 1 by 256 by 256 by 3 shape. After this, we just need to predict it. So for prediction, we have used model.predict and passed the image that we have taken from the user. And after this, we have stored into a variable name ypred. Here you can see that for the result, I have used class names as we have defined above. We are using 3 classes, so it will get fetch me the correct class for this particular image. And after that we will print that using st.title, and here you can see that I have used the result and split it into this type of function. So it will show me that this is a whichever class it is, leaf with particular disease. So this is the main application that I have created. So there are certain dependencies before running this application, and for those requirements, those dependencies, we need to create a requirements.txt file. So let me show you how you can create a requirements.txt file. So for creating that, let us move to the folder where we have let us move to the folder which names as plant disease and copy that location of the folder. After copying the location of this folder plant disease, we will open the Anaconda command prompt. So in Anaconda command prompt, we need to go to that folder where we have our project stored. So I have already copied the location of that folder. So now I'll use cd space location of that folder and go to that folder. So here we are going to create a requirements file. This requirement file will contain all the dependencies, which means all the libraries that are required to run this particular application. So for creating that, we need to run a command named pip reqs. And if you don't have pip reqs installed on your system, first we need to install that using pip install pip reqs. So what this will do is this will install pip reqs on your machine. So here you can see that on my system requirement is already satisfied because I have already installed that. You can install that in the same procedure as I have shown you. So next what we'll do is now we'll create the requirements.txt file. Why this is important? Because this will install all the libraries that are required to run this application on your system. So let's run the command pip reqs. It will run through all the Python files that I have stored in this particular folder, and it will return me all the required dependencies with their versions that I have used in my Python code and create a file name requirements.txt. So here you can see that it has created a requirements.txt file. So now let us install these requirements. So for installing these requirements, we will use pip install -r requirements.txt. So what this will do is this will install all the requirements that are listed in this requirements.txt file. So I have already installed all these, so this is showing me requirement already satisfied, but you can do it in the same way. So next I will show you how to run this app. As we have installed all the dependencies and we have created our main app, so let me show you how you can run this on your local machine. So for that we need to run this command streamlit run and the name of the file. So my name is main_app.py. My project is with this name. So I'll run this and it will launch my app into a local browser with this particular URL, as you can see here. So let's go to the browser and check out our app. How is it looking? So here you can see that this is the main homepage of our app. Other than the titles and the functions that we have created, you can also see that there is a menu on the right hand side. As you click that, it will show you different options of Streamlit. You can rerun this, you can clear the cache, you can deploy this app directly using this. This is a pretty good feature as you can use it to deploy these apps online without any hassle. You just need to upload it to your GitHub account and use this. Other than that, you can record this. You can record this whole screen. It contains all the documentation. You can ask a question to the community. You can report a bug if you have any, if you see any bug in Streamlit, and all the functions. So let's come back to our app and see how it works. So let me click on browse files and select a plant image, and then we will predict it. So here you can see that I have uploaded a file here. Now let us predict it and find out which image it is. So which plant disease it is. So here you can see that the size of the image is 256 by 256 by 3, and this is a tomato leaf with bacterial spot. So by this we came to an end of this project. You can try different Streamlit functions like title, sidebars, and all that to make it more interactive, to make it more interesting. Thank you.